Hello and welcome back to another Barn Automotive YouTube video. And in the last episode, I said we weren't going to be doing one on the Slam Grand this week. And that is because we are waiting for some parts to be able to go further with that. The brake kit is now on that car and the CV shafts will arrive middle of next week. So hopefully by the end of next week, that is rolling under its own power without me pushing it anymore. But I'd said that this episode would probably be on the Mercedes 190e, and I decided we're not going to do that because we haven't even started that one yet. So I have the 1953 Ford F100 that I thought I would take you around because we're about to make some huge leaps and bounds in progress with this as we've just done another big order. So I thought I will take you around this, and then once the Granada's done, we'll start the full series on this, and there'll be some others coming as well, the 190E and the E30 M-Tech and other projects. So today we're going around the Restomod 1953 Ford F100. Starting with, I'd like to say the biggest upgrade on the car. I don't think it even is because it's just an engine, but at the front here, we have the 7.3 litre Godzilla engine, V8. That is as big as big block comes. Maybe there's bigger, but that is a big block sat in the engine bay. And that is what is going to be powering this thing. It is in place with the, what transmission is it? A 10-speed transmission on the back of it. That is the biggest transmission I've ever shifted around. It's huge. And yeah, this will be what is powering this thing down the road. The nice thing about this is we have plenty of space around it, even with your fenders back in, to work on it. We will be stripping all this back off. This is just test fitting that everything fits back in place with this in. But it sits in there very nicely and it looks super cool. And we'll make something like we're doing on the Granada that covers the top of this so that it's not just big, empty, open space. But it looks incredible. We got plenty of room for radiators and things that we need there. Not like the Granada where we're having to squeeze it in. So plenty of room at the front here. And yeah, well underway with that. Now this is sat on technically the original chassis, but it's not very original anymore. So the whole thing is boxed. It has a big old X-brace that you can see just poking out under the cab there. Then it's got some sections in the back to be able to slam it. And I'm gonna remake the two tubs and make one big one, so that this also has an X-brace bracing it at the rear here. This is obviously original, but we're gonna get it should be coming in the next 2 or 3 weeks. The big window kit, which means it will be wider and it will come round and it's a wraparound window. They didn't deliver many of them with that. There are split opinions on why they didn't. Some people don't think it looks good. I think it looks better. And it's a complete cutout section. So you cut along the seam at the top, down and there, and then along, and then we weld in a whole new panel in the back. It's a kit, but it's not plug and play. So yeah, that will be being changed also. You have the side step carriers. I'm gonna mount the air tank. This is where the old fuel tank was, in this huge gap here. I don't know whether to mount it the other side where the battery is, so kind of you have more free space here for if we're going to add anything else, or mount it this side. Haven't really decided yet. We'll see what's the most efficient for running all the airlines everywhere. Don't think it really makes a difference with which side, but if we need to add more under the car, we don't put it this side. What could also be cool, which I haven't seen, is a side exit exhaust, and then we make a bigger hole there and have it blowing out there. Maybe your side step gets covered in crap, But that's something to think about. That's a thought that I've just had, that maybe that is cool. Sticking with the side steps, you'll see these two end plates that aren't painted. The side step didn't finish as like a wraparound, which I think was nicer in styling. So we've made these wraparound end parts that fit the contour of your fenders and creates a real nice clean line for the car, so that the side is just a straight line. Once you have your wheels in there, everything will be clean cut. Back onto the rear, and this is a wraparound rear apron that I'd made before by folding sheet. So before this was here, there was nothing that kind of tied the lining together at the rear. So I made this, which I have the position of where I was thinking of putting the exhaust. So the tips come through it there and there. But maybe we can do something cooler than that. So I'll have a think about it. Maybe we need to weld those holes up and come up with something cooler. But that is also cool if they come out the rear, in that it's it'll look nice. And then again, it ties in with the whole line of the car and makes everything the whole way around clean. Inside, you can see there's a big hole in the firewall. And if I come around the front, it's because the engine doesn't actually fit in where I want it to sit with the firewall there. So we will need to make a box section that comes out of there. I'm going to cut completely off here. We make a new section that goes in there as well for your steering column, but then we just make the new hole in it to the size that we want. So we'll square that whole area off so that it's not a strange shape, make like a tub, and then seam weld that in and around, and that will fill that so that it comes out a little bit wider than this. And then we have the mock-up of the transmission tunnel ready in place, that will then weld up to that other box section. So this is incredibly strong. You can see the thickness of it there. It's not going anywhere. And yeah, that will add to strengthen the car as well, or this cab in the middle, because there's not much strength within the cab, if I'm honest. When we lift it off, it can twist because we've cut all of that out. So making it stronger again, basically. We have the electric window system in for the door windows already. I installed that before we did all the taking apart. There's a load of stuff I did then to like have those bits done so that when it goes back together, it's already finished in that sense. I believe the color we're going for is so it's like a 7-layer metallic red, if we're still on that one. Super nice color. Changes depending where you're standing and what the light is on the car, changes color. So super cool color, especially for like a hot rod style build. High metallic, it will look super sexy. We'll also be making a matching trailer. So you might have seen on the rear fenders, there's some sections that have already been cut out and welded that I've done. We are going to get new fenders for this one. Your front fenders are actually very good, solid. They have been changed at some point already, but the rear ones weren't. They had some very dodgy looking repairs done to them. So ordering new ones of them, and these old ones will be used on that trailer. So that again, you have the same clean line going from this car to the trailer. And then we're going to try and make that a slam trailer as well, a very low trailer. And can you imagine when you have the F100 with the LS3 Granada slammed on a slam trailer behind it, pulling up to a car show? It'd probably steal the show, I don't know. It'll be very good. I don't want to blow my own horn, but they will look fucking incredible together. Granada's going to be getting finished up on, and there's some bits I won't be doing, like the stainless exhaust. I'm having someone do that, so it will go off there, and the iPad system. So in that time, I will be working on this one, and hopefully we then have plates for the 190E, and these are two projects I can kind of do at the same time, because we need parts to come in for both of them. So there will be episodes on this, and there will be episodes on the Mercedes 190E as well. So there is plenty to come up and plenty to look forward to. I hope you are going to enjoy following along with the process of all the builds that are coming. This is the introduction to the 1953 Ford F100 Godzilla swapped resto mod. Next week, we'll be back on the Ford Granada, and hopefully I'm going to be able to show you that moving under its own power without me pushing it around the shop. As ever, subscribe and you'll be notified whenever a new video comes out on any of the projects in the shop. And that is it for this week. And I will see you in the next Barn Automotive YouTube video.